Hi everyone, my name is Joel, and I would like to share my testimony with you. Um, in May 2019, my relationship with the Lord changed. Prior to that, I grew up in a Christian home, baptized when I was 13. Went to church off and on my whole life. As a adult, I would visit my parents often, and I talk with my dad, about the Bible sometimes, and go to him for prayer, to pray with me, and he used to minister to other people. He passed when I was 36. 2 or 3 years later, I was feeling a pull to get closer to God. At that time, my prayer life was pretty much just for safety, giving thanks over meals, blessings over friends and family, pretty much it. Then my 40s hit and health issues. I got cellulitis in my leg a couple times. First time I was in the hospital, 15 days. Infection from my ankle to my knee. My leg looked pretty bad. It was kind of scary. I thought they might have to remove my leg. 2018, I had other health issues, heart racing all the time, head bothering me. Then May 2019, my school's almost out, and I was I dropped off my daughter at school, and my head started bothering me quite a bit. I had my wife take me to the ER. I didn't find anything. I follow up with my primary, and she's, trying to figure things out. In the meantime, I'm crying out to God, like, what's going on? Thinking I'm going to meet Jesus any second, sometimes. The second week, I realized that I need a relationship with the Lord, not just a miracle. I want to get to know the Lord, and what better time, right? So I started seeking the Lord every day. At the end of the second week of seeking God, one afternoon, after a little time with the Lord, I was on my way to the bathroom, and I stopped, and I looked up, had a daydream moment. I saw myself in front of the church sharing my testimony, how God helped me and changed my life and lost all this weight, and I was getting kind of excited. And I go to the bathroom, look in the mirror, and I see my 500-pound self. And sadness hit pretty hard. So far away, I knew it wasn't going to be so easy. Tears coming down my cheek. I sit down, and I was about to hear from the Holy Spirit for the first time that I know of. And, I've always heard about the Holy Spirit. My dad talked about the Holy Spirit a lot. I've heard people's experience of, they would explain it as a still small voice, or audible, or from reading the Bible. But in that moment, I was crying. I heard the words so clear: don't be sad. And that kind of freaked me out. I looked around. I was like, what's going on? It was like someone was there. But it was inside, but it's so different. I see myself in the mirror, and I hear the words, that's not you anymore. But yet, I knew that was not me. I wasn't talking to myself. I was so sad. I didn't even know what was going on. I looked away, and then I heard the words, I'm helping you through this. And in that moment, that was kind of a jaw drop moment, and I changed. The sad tears changed. It changed to happy tears. I remember smiling and saying, Holy Spirit. Oh, I remember thinking, wow, 44 and a half years old, I finally heard from the Holy Spirit. It was so incredible. And one of the first things I said, though, was much to learn. I still have. Sound kind of like Yoda. But I realized that I felt like I was just starting. I'm a new person. And from that moment, some of the thoughts I used to dwell on, I didn't as much, and I started making better healthy choices and started to lose weight. That first year was really rough still though. Physically sucked really bad. I had a few more ER visits, mostly just to be around professionals because I felt like I was gonna collapse. Head hurting like level 9 point something. But I got to share my testimony with so many healthcare workers. And then, after a year, 2020 summer, my mom passed, and I continued to lose weight after she passed. Over a year later, I had lost over 200 pounds. I went from 518 to 302.4. I was so close to being under 300. At that time, I haven't seen myself under 300 in 20 years. But also at that time, I was having shoulder trouble, and I was about to get surgery, and I made a bad decision of putting things on hold, counting calories, exercising while I heal. A horrible mistake. My weight came back really fast, and after a while, my shoulder wasn't healing, and I had to go in for a second surgery. So I put everything off longer. 6 months went by, healed up, but I found it not so easy to get back on a routine. My relationship with the Lord, was cutting back a little bit. But I guess I let circumstances, they get in the way sometimes. And my weight was just going up, up, and up, and I started to feel kind of shameful, like I let God down or something. I was thinking of like all those people I share my testimony with. They saw me lose weight, and to gain it back, I felt like a bad example or something. I knew I wasn't letting God down, but I couldn't help feeling that way. About a year after I just had the first surgery, I was already back at 400. I continued going up to the next few months. I went all the way up to 468. During that weight gain, though, the mental health was getting worse. I mean, I don't always see that, recognize it right away. I see it now, like so plainly, easily, but I didn't, so depressed. I cut myself off from like the world even more, from my friends, family, leaving the house even less. My thoughts didn't ever go to like, to take my own life or anything, but I did have, my dark thoughts did go to where I was wondering, why am I still around? Am I needed? I feel like my head pain's still going even now. I feel like I've been on the sidelines with my family. Like, they kind of getting used to me being on the sideline. I'm trying to get better. Just off and on with the weight, the health issues, not being as active with everyone. Kind of overwhelming and sad. Things got worse, and when it got worse, I didn't know how to just go get help again, I guess. The whole time though, I knew my relationship with the Lord was, I knew I still was different though. Like, it wasn't as strong as it was, but yet I knew I wasn't the same, if that makes sense. Well, to me it does. I know I'm a different person, but oh wow. So I would cry out to God sometimes, and He would let me know what to do, and I just didn't do it right away. He would say, follow follow him, seek him. And I remember thinking at first, like, I thought I already was, but then I got it though. I wasn't putting him first. I mean, I didn't mean to. Circumstances sometimes distracting. I quit driving. I haven't driven really in over a year. I went out a little bit, tried to go around the block, but I haven't tried in like 3 months. I've only left the home still a couple times of this last year. I started hurting other places, that's why. That weight gain, my body didn't handle it very well at all. But yeah, a year ago, I started seeking God again, like putting God first, getting into His Word, praying, being more consistent. I shouldn't have faltered, but I did for a while. I learned a lot though in those hard times. And then, God gave me a solution to what to do. Start posting videos. Sounds kind of silly, but I put that off for a few months, and I finally started listening almost 4 months ago. It was my first video. And my life's changing. I want to keep it moving forward. My weight's coming back off. I've learned a lot these last few years. What not to do, what to do. Go to God for everything. And I thought some of you would like to hear that. If you'd like to see me, continue to change inside out, follow along. See y'all later.